Hi, I'm Julie O'Mara, and Dianne, Platner, and myself are going to share the podium and talk a little bit about what the governance committee, it's a subcommittee of the board, is doing. So we have a third member of the committee, and that's Jamie Shokir. Whoops. Okay, thank you. Yay, a little help from my friends. And Jamie's out there. So the three of us have been really working to lead the board through a number of initiatives to really strengthen us as a board of directors. Now, one of the things that Steve asked us to do as we stood up here is to share with you a little bit about what's in this for us personally and why are we personally committed to this. So I just want you to know that I am thrilled to be a member of the Barrett-Kohler Board of Directors because the mission is just so much in aligned with my personal purpose and my values. So I hope I get reelected. Okay. Although I think it's kind of too late now to make that pitch. But anyway. So one of the things that I'm personally dedicated to is assuring that your board has the right set of skills, knowledge, diversity, expertise to really help Barrett-Kohler continue on this path of excellence that the company has been on for 20 years. So we're really dedicated to that. To do that, there's another number of initiatives. I want to talk with you about a couple of them. One is that we are revisiting the roles and responsibilities of the board of directors. To do this, one of the things we did is we did an analysis of how the board has been working over the past years. And how it's worked in the past. And while it's worked well, we're also very aware, as you've learned today, that there's a really changing landscape in this publishing industry. And so we want to be sure that we are prepared as a board of directors to help guide the company through all the changes that are coming up, the ones we know about and the ones that we don't yet know about. So that's kind of the revisit of the roles and responsibilities. Another one of our initiatives, and Marilyn mentioned it a bit, is the whole nominations process of how do we select future board of directors members. So we feel it's important that we have the best talent that we possibly can. So our new process that we're using is that we first determine, we look ahead a couple of years and we say, you know, what are the challenges and opportunities that we're going to be facing at least within the next couple of years. Then and we will be using this skills matrix in the future, we're going to assess the skills and the knowledge, the experience level of the current board of directors, and then look at what our gaps are, and then cast a really wide net so that we bring in board members that have the requisite skills and abilities that we need for this company. One other factor, too, that I'd like for you to know is that we're alert to the fact that the board of directors is one element of structure where there's a real potential for all of the various stakeholders to be represented in some way, shape, and form to serve the company. And that isn't true with some of the other groups, so we're a really composite group. So with that, I'll turn it to Dianne.
Hi, I'm Dianne Platner. I'm Senior Manager of Design and Production at Barrett-Kohler. And I am the retiring staff member who has served on the board for the last year. In the mid-90s, Barrett-Kohler's board of directors created a position for a staff member to serve on the board. The purpose was to expand that stakeholder representation. So that not only did we have the authors and suppliers and the shareholders on the board, that we would bring in a staff member and employee as well. So not only was management on the board, but it brought in experience and perspective of a staff member to the board to help sort of look at the whole picture. So we follow a seniority rule. The longest serving staff member at Barrett-Kohler took the first position, and we rotate down through the series. And I served last year. I chaired the committee, the governance committee, and I produced the board handbook. So Steve asked Julie and I to say, well, why? What were you into this for, and what did you hope to accomplish? Well, the simple answer for me was I wanted, Diane said, I'm out of time. But this is really important. So what I wanted is I wanted a guide. I needed to know what I was responsible for. What is my role and responsibility? Most of that information is filed with Steve in his head or in the briefcase. Have many of you seen Steve's briefcase? You open it up, there's the answer. But it's accessible, but you couldn't get to it electronically. So in realizing this initiative, I had really some of the best minds, a lot of people in the room, as well as Jamie and Julie to work on this with me. So I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, and having guidelines seems like a good idea. So Julie and Jamie and I sat on many, many, many phone calls, many, many hours, did lots and lots of research, had a few arguments, and but we came up with Handbook Initiative. So in that effort, I really worked on the organizing structure of it. Julie really drove deeply into the roles and responsibility, and Jamie brought many of these initiatives to the table to get the board approval. So, and here it is. This is where it all resides now. And I have to thank the new oncoming staff member, Dianne for building this for me. It's amazing. So this is what we have now for the board's use. We have an opening page, we have our calendar, we have all of the meetings that are coming up, and all the preparation that you have to do sits here. There's announcements, there's a board bio page and some history. There's a place for conversations that go on between the board members in specific areas that are development, like the succession plan, the B Corp, the governance committee, and most importantly, because we didn't have an onboarding system, we didn't have any way, a container for what board members really legally were responsible for, we have the legal document sections for your bylaws and your articles of incorporation. This would be really important for Mel because he's going to dive deep into this as well. That's what I did over the last year. So thank you very much.